Hi, my name is Ray Stevenson, and I'm in charge of developer relations for Qualcomm's Cloud AI products. And today I'm going to take you through a sample that actually shows you how to call our Cloud AI Inference products using a web page, so using straight JavaScript and HTML. For today's scenario, what I actually have here is something we're calling Haiku as a service. And so what you can see here on a simple web page is the bare bones type of interface that lets you enter something and try it out. Just to show you how this works, first of all, before we go dive into the code, if I type in something here and I press enter, it's going to tell you that you can't get any poetry without an API key. So really the first thing we have to do is we have to go retrieve the API key that is associated with this service and then paste it down here in the bottom. So I'm going to go ahead and go do that. Right here, I'm inside the aisuite.servscale.com. This is our partner for AI Inference. And if I go to the account and API keys tab here over on the left, and I go copy my API key, and then I go back over to the Haiku as a service, paste that in the bottom. Okay, so we're going to paste in our API key, and then we're going to type in a topic, press enter. And there you go. We've got some haiku that was generated by AI. Fingers dance upon keys that whisper secrets cold, winter's silent night. Let's try a couple other ones, and then we'll go behind the scenes and take a look at the code to show you how it actually works. So if we say popular internet topic, kittens and the internet, we should get something different. Whiskers dance online, funny screens glow bright, kittens chase pixels in air. Finally, let's try one other one. Swords and tea, very typical Japanese haiku type topic. Steel's gentle warmth, whispers of the tea's calm, summer's peaceful hush. So as you can see, it works just fine. Pretty straightforward. There is also a blog, which you can go read afterwards, that covers this same solution. It's called Using the Qualcomm AI Inference Suite Directly from a Web Page. If I just go down a little bit here on the page, you'll see this actually takes you through the whole scenario, and it has a step-by-step in case you want to go read after you see this video. So let's go jump over to the code and take a look at how it actually does that magic. Okay, so here we have our Haiku as a service, HAAS.html. And what I was trying to do with this solution was actually not use any kind of JavaScript framework. So I'm not using React, I'm not using Vue. I'm trying to just keep it straight JavaScript and HTML so that anybody who has even just basic skills can kind of understand how it works and do the similar type of thing from their own web page. So as you see here, this is just typical web page content. Nothing special there. Here's the start of our script. So this is where we're going to actually start to set up this solution. First thing we have to do is set our endpoint. In this case, this is where we're calling the AI endpoint. And this is using just OpenAI standard APIs. This is what the Qualcomm AI Inference Suite provides. And this is how you go call any of the large language models and get a result. We have a variable here for our API key. We don't supply it here because we asked for it in the web page. In a real solution, you would probably store this in a secrets file somewhere. You would figure out how to make sure it's not hard coded into the web page. And then the next thing we do is we set up our prompt. So in this case, what we want to do is say, you are a historical Japanese figure who is an expert at crafting haiku. And then we want you to write a haiku about something. And we're going to get some feedback from the users. That's where I entered the things like kittens and the internet. And you're going to please write a haiku about whatever the user entered. And then we're going to respect the rules. And we want to respond with just the haiku and nothing else. Because that's when you're using LLMs, you really need to focus on giving it guardrails so it doesn't just come up with other content that you might not actually want. Moving on, we get to the function here where we actually call the API. So we're going to call get a new haiku with the inspiration. The inspiration is just a variable that holds whatever text the user entered in the web page. And then we build up our options here for our post to the AI API. And you can see here it's a post method. It has the API key is here as a bearer token. And then we actually build up system role, user role, the inspiration, and the guardrails, everything that we had above, including what the user entered on the page. We're going to use this model in this example, but you're free to try the other models that are out there on the developer environment. And then because this is pretty short, Haiku are very short, we're not going to do streaming. So we're not going to have, a token at a time come back to the user interface. So we just say streaming false. Also, because Haiku are pretty short, we're just going to say the max tokens is 32. That way, it knows that once it's reached 32 tokens, it can quit generating content and then return the result to us in the web page. So pretty fast from the perspective of the end user experience. So here we go retrieve the response. So we're going to use the JavaScript fetch option to actually do this, given everything that we've just built up. And we go and get our response. Of course, we have a little bit of error checking here to say if the server didn't respond, no server response, right? And then in this particular case, when I was testing it, I found out that the text return sometimes was too long. Sometimes it would give me a haiku, and then it would say something about the history of haiku at the end. So I just use a little bit of regular expression magic here to kind of clean that up and just extract the part we wanted, which was just the poem, just the haiku. And then finally, I have a little helper function here called update div content, where I'm saying, the name of the div that I have is called haiku in the HTML, and we're going to insert the string, which was the returned poem, into that place. And so again, this is all there. There's a GitHub repo, which will be posted here, where you can get all this code and download it. You can try it yourself. Because it's just an HTML file, anybody can run it. You don't need any special environment set up. And then if you go down here and look at the page itself, starting with the body tag, you can see super, super simple. This section here is where we take the input. This section here is where the haiku goes, the div. And then down at the bottom, we've got a place to paste the API key for using it. And that's it. That is the entire solution. So with that, would love to just thank you for following along today in this kind of short snippet, how to call Qualcomm's AI Inference Suite using a web page using simple JavaScript and HTML. Thank you so much.